Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. This is day 24 of my 30 dress watches in 30 days challenge. Tonight we're looking at two different Grand Seikos. I found these watches on Hodinkee and they're pretty amazing looking. So let us begin. So the Grand Seikos that we're looking at tonight are the SLG-W002 and SLG-W003. One watch is in rose gold and the other is in hardened titanium. And as Hodinkee points out in this article, these watches feature the first new high-beat manual wound movement that the brand has put out in 50 years. The movement inside these is the 9SA4. So the case size on these is 38.6 millimeters. The case height is 9.95 millimeters. So they're a great size. They have 30 meters of water resistance, so dress watch level. And these watch feature what is called a birch dial. That's pretty cool looking. That texture is definitely present, but still subtle. These watches absolutely have Grand Seiko DNA in them. I mean, just look at those grooved applied markers, the Dauphine hands. They both have a blued seconds hand. And as you can see, the case is brushed and polished. So the parts that actually need protected are brushed. And then the sides of the bezel, sides of the case are polished so that they still look dressy and still play with the light. That's pretty cool. So the price points on these watches are wildly different. The rose gold piece is around $45,000 and it's limited to 80 pieces. The titanium piece is about $10,000. And I don't see any mention of limitations on that one. I feel like the color of the rose gold that Grand Seiko went with on this piece is really nice. I'm not a huge fan of rose gold, but if it's more subtle, if it's kind of on the warmer side of yellow gold, or I've seen rose gold where it's kind of a coppery color, less of a reddish, that's not bad at all. And this one's definitely kind of like a warm yellow gold. But I have to say that that titanium watch is definitely my favorite of the two. That is absolutely gorgeous. The silver case looks so good with the white dial, with those hands, and the blue accent of the seconds hand. Yes. And the movement looks amazing. And this is pretty cool. It appears to have a power meter on the movement itself. Now that would be cool to have with automatic watches that have display case backs. Because then if you're not wearing that piece non-stop all the time, and you have it sitting on the shelf, you'll actually know how much power is in it. I never know how much juice my automatic watches have in them. That's kind of why I bought the watch winder. Because oftentimes there are two watches that I'm wearing a lot, and if one of those is automatic, it's gonna fall asleep. Even if I'm swapping them nearly daily. Yeah. Grand Seiko is just absolutely amazing. I mean, $45,000 is pretty brutal. Yeah. $10,000 is kind of brutal, but yeah, much more doable than the 45. I think it's great that they went with a partially brushed, partially polished case. Like I mentioned, the bezel is a little bit more scratch resistant that way. Same with the tops of the lugs. Places where the watch is going to potentially get knocked around. And just look at those watches on the wrist. Absolutely gorgeous. Especially that titanium one. Oh, and yes, here we have it at the very bottom of the article. The titanium is not limited edition. So there's hope. I mean, if I find myself in possession of $10,000 and decide I really need a Grand Seiko, it'll still be around. But there you have it, two brilliant Grand Seiko watches. Thanks for watching.